the Diddy incident at UCLA. From what I understand, there are very specific rules about liquor companies and who owns shares, controlling, significant shares in liquor companies. And one of those rules is that you cannot have a felony. So, because I guess they just don't want a bunch of criminals running liquor companies. So if Diddy is actually convicted of this whole kettlebell incident at UCLA, he would be forced to sell all the shares in, Ciroc and his other liquor brands. He would just have to basically sell them at that point at whatever the market value is. Are you at all surprised that Diddy's still putting hands on people at this point in his life?
Nah. And, I gave him donkey today. The reason I gave him donkey today was for using the motherfucking kettlebell. You can kill somebody with a kettlebell. Like, I call Diddy a terrorist. Like, I call him Saddam Hussein. Because that kettlebell is a weapon of mass destruction. You hit somebody with a motherfucking kettlebell in the head, you could kill him. So he didn't have to use the kettlebell. He could have used his regular hands. But it was self-defense. And this is my other thing. Diddy's a smart guy. I mean, even though Diddy has a history of putting hands on people, He's never did it for no reason. I mean, when he hit Steve Stout with the bottle, it's because he felt like it was blasphemous that he was up on the cross in the Hate Me Now video. He asked Steve to take him out. I guess Steve kept him in. So boom, you're playing with somebody's religion, his belief, bottle to the head. Perfectly understandable. Drake, 0 to 100 beat. That was a hot record. If I gave you the beat and asked you to write to it for me, and you not motherfucking responding to my calls and my texts, and I hear the record on the radio, I want to see you. And if I approach you about it and you got something slick to say, I'm gonna slap you in the fucking face. Okay, I get it. This situation, Diddy's a multimillionaire. His son has been going to that school for a few years now. Never heard of any situations. Clearly something happened where Diddy felt his manhood was being disrespected, or he was in some sort of danger, that he had to defend himself. Like, Diddy's a smart guy. Like, he's not an emotional decision maker. He knows what's on the line whenever he gets into any situation. So for him to go to his son's school and something like that to happen lets me know that it had to be a real situation. Something really set him off to cause him to react like that. So it don't surprise me at all, because a man is still gonna be a man at the end of the day. And you gotta protect yourself and you gotta protect your family.
Right, but when you talk about those two other situations, when you talk about the Steve Stout situation as well as the Drake situation, Diddy was not defending himself. He was the aggressor in both these situations.
But in a way he was, because he asked Steve Stout to take him out the video because he felt like it was blasphemous for him to be on the cross. He said he talked to his pastor, that's his religion. You disrespecting my religion.
Right,
come on, Vlad, we live in a world where motherfuckers go to war over religion.
But this is after you go and film yourself on the cross and you agree to do it, and everyone, the crew is there, they film it, they edit it.
Nobody's allowed to change their mind. You got the right to change your mind. If I go talk to my pastor and I tell my pastor what I did.
Well, hold on. It really depends legally whether you sign the release forms or not.
That's true.
And this is what I'm saying. Like, you can't just say, well, if you don't do this, I'm gonna put my hands on you, and that's just how it is. Like, society can't work that way. You can't put hands on people just because you have a disagreement with them over legalities or whatever else. It gets settled in court.
I agree, but when it comes to something like that, my religion, if I feel like I'm being blasphemous and I feel like God is not going to approve of something that I did, and I ask you to take it out and you still like whatever, I can see why he would react that way.
Right, and then you'd have to have a conversation with God, say, hey God, I'm sorry for getting up on that cross and filming it and signing those release forms right afterwards. Bad.
He probably did that too, but it's his faith. Like, come on, we see wars wars happen over religion all the time.
Look, I have a term called act your wage. Mm-hmm. And the reality is, and I've been through this, myself, when I was broke, I didn't give a fuck. I would wild out. I've been in situations where I realize I can't be in right now because I have way too much to lose. Someone could sue me, and everything I've built up to this point, could just simply go away, could be paid off to someone else over one bad decision. So therefore, I have to act based on the amount of money that I have. There's certain people that don't, use that as part of the decision-making process. I feel that on certain times, Diddy has shown to be that. Like, you can't go and just, Bill Gates and Steve Jobs hated each other for years. Steve felt that, Bill stole his whole concept and his whole company and made billions and has no style and so forth. You've never heard of a situation of Steve Jobs physically assaulting Bill Gates. Never. I don't even think they had security. They were at shows together. They were around each other. They knew where each other lived. They would go to each other's houses.
Well,
you never hear that. You never hear it in any other industry but hip hop. Hip hop is the only place that it has to be handled with hands and feet.
I'm not trying to use this word anymore, but hey, man, hip hop's full of niggers, okay? And niggas, that's just how we react sometimes. I'm with you. I'm with acting your wage, but I gotta know all the details of the situation that made Diddy get to that level where he said, I'm gonna grab this motherfucking kettlebell. Like, because if it's got something to do with your family, I get it.
Well, I mean, for example, one of the things I heard was that the coach was riding, his son about having, floor seats at a certain NBA game. And it's like, okay, so what?
So what?
So what?
And see, that's fucked up too because, all right, number one, you shouldn't be treating Justin any different.
Okay.
Because it's Diddy's son. He shouldn't be getting no special privileges or anything like that. You treat him like you treat any other football player. But don't try to overcompensate for the fact that you're not trying to treat him special because you end up treating him worse than everybody else because you're trying to prove to everybody, I'm not treating him no different. Okay. See? I'm not treating him no different because he's Diddy's son.
There's a process that you could go through if you have a complaint about a coach. UCLA is actually a public school, and coaches have bosses, and he wasn't even the main coach, he was an assistant coach.
And he's the same coach who tripped up a player when he used to coach for the Jets. When he used to coach for the Jets, he literally came on the sidelines and tripped up a player that was running to score a touchdown.
Okay.
So
I don't know this guy's background. All I'm saying is that he has a boss, and his boss has a boss, and that boss has a boss as well.
Well, we don't know if it got to that though. Like we don't know. Like
obviously it did. It got handled with kettlebells.
Maybe that was the last round. Maybe Diddy was like, let me talk. And what if Diddy went into the office and goes, yo, let me talk to you for a second. And dude was on the phone like, give me a minute. Just being a dick. Because he wants to prove, I'm not treating you any special just because of who you are.
You know something? And that's his right. If that man don't want to talk to Diddy, he don't have to talk to Diddy. There's lots of people I don't talk to.
You wouldn't do that to any other coach though. I mean, you wouldn't do that to any other parent. If it was just a regular parent who came and was like, Lo, let me holler at you, he'd be like, okay. I guarantee you that coach was trying to overcompensate for the fact that he wasn't treating them special and overcompensate for the fact that, I don't care that that's Diddy, that he was treating them worse than everybody else.
I mean, we'll never know.
And if they want to do they do, let them do the do. They the ones got to ride it out, cuz. Okay? Don't throw them under the bus. At least they ain't out hurting nobody.
Black people, we have okayed everything down to a point where our culture is gone. Black folks, for the most part, don't have nothing to say about hip hop or R&B. It has been taken away from us.